What up, what up, what up? Happy Tuesday, guys.
We're married, guys.
Oh yeah, now this is us
For real.
after the wedding.
Look at that. If you guys are watching on YouTube, look at his ring. See, like I got one too, but it's always more fascinating when the guy has ring.
They probably can't see it, but show. So what is going on, everyone? Merry Christmas, because
married Christmas.
You're probably listening to this on Christmas is on a Wednesday, right?
Yeah, so
you're probably listening to this on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, whatever day you're listening to this on. I hope you have a great Christmas.
Yeah, we'll be having a married Christmas. It was a good one.
Let me know when you're done with these corny ass jokes, okay?
I'm done.
Okay, cool. But yeah, so we're recording this now, being officially licensed and married and official and all that stuff.
We got our certificates in the mail. It's real. It's legit.
This episode is gonna be a recap on our wedding day.
Yay.
As a whole. But before we get into that, guys, I got a rant. I got a rant. Oh, but before we even get into the rant, because I'm just going out there.
He's heated this morning, but hello.
Yeah.
Let's keep it together.
So, guys, as always, what is going on? I'm Shadell, co-host of PagingTheSimpsons. I'm joined by my lovely wife.
Hey, Lauren. The wife.
Before we get into this wedding conversation, I got to get some stuff off my chest. So...
yeah, he's heated. So we're going to get in a whole discussion about this. So
I saw a post from some person. I'm not sure if they're a celebrity or whatever. Like their name is like Anthony L. Darkan. I don't know, some Facebook like thing. And this guy puts, you can't be pro-black and be in an interracial relationship.
Hi guys. Uh-oh.
You don't know how irritating that is. That's like saying a white person saying, "Oh, it's not just about Black Lives Matter, it's about all lives." And let me break that down why I say that. Because you're diminishing my value. Because you're saying, yo, just because I'm in an interracial relationship, that what I'm doing as a black person in, I guess, the black community, just being a black person in the world has no value. And that's what's irritating to me. Like, this post irritated me so much because every day, you know this, we talk about it on this podcast. We have countless episodes, I like to say, where we talk about this. Every day I go out, whether it's at work, going out to the store, I'm putting on for other black men, black people, whatever, that look like me. And for you to say, yo, I'm not pro-black because I'm married to someone that's not my skin color is wild. It's wild. And I was just telling you this. I'm like, dog, us getting married, whether it's me with you or to a black person or whatever, I look at myself as a role model to another black boy that's sitting here and it's like, I don't know if that's going to be me. I don't see a lot of black men that get married. Or I won't even stereotype it like that, but I'm just saying it for what I know. I don't know a lot of them. So, like, yeah, I'm telling you guys from the beginning, I'm pulling hard for, like, my siblings where they're seeing, like, yo, my older brother's killing it. Look at the job he's at. Look at the, you know, the where he's going, what he's gathering. We're working towards getting, like, our future permanent house. I'm hustling as a black person to make things happen, and I hope that my siblings and anyone that I come in contact with that is black understands it and use me as like some type of like point to like either beat me or be like me. Because I have no problem with someone's like, yo, I want to be better than you. That's cool. I want to see it happen. Every day I'm beating the stigma that like, oh, black people are something to be scared about. That constant joke where it's not even a joke. Where women have to like clutch their purse or walk to the other side of the road, white women per se, because they're afraid of this black guy. I have to go into rooms and go into stores and go into places and constantly have a smile on my face to pretend like I'm not that black guy is going to steal something in their store, and yet this person has their audacity to say, I'm not pro-black. My whole life has been pro-black.
Well, yeah, it doesn't make sense because it doesn't take away who you are.
And if that's the case, if we're going with that logic where, man, if you've been in an interracial relationship, you can't be pro-black, let's get rid of everyone else that you guys love and like and all that stuff out of the picture. Like, so that means you can't have a Drake, you can't have a Jordan Peele, you can't have a Childish Gambino. Man, who am I missing? Obama. Like, there's so many. It doesn't matter what your race is. The stupid idea that, like, you have to be with your own race it's so stupid. I'm gonna tell you now. Like, I'm not sure what's happening or what. But stop. I don't think. Go ahead.
I mean, it's crazy to think that interracial relationships have only been a legal thing for like 50 years or something like that. So as it is, it's still in the grand scheme of everything that's happened, it's still a newer thing that is technically legal, but then that still comes with, you know, people's bias and people's judgment and things like that. So it stinks.
My issue is I hate black people that try to tear down other black people.
Yeah. And
I hate it so much. And I get it. You guys have nothing. You try to get something. I get it. You're hungry. You want something. Like, you've been thrown in the dump. You're like, shoot. Like, it's like Jay-Z said it best. It's the crabs in the barrel mentality. Because you put crabs in the barrel, they're constantly pulling, they're constantly trying to grab on. Another crab's trying to go out. Crab, nope, you gotta stay here. Like, it's
That's
that.
a good
it's
one.
that same mentality, and it's like
metaphor. People do that, and even like women do that to each other.
But I feel like it's so much in the black community, and it's sick. I'm tired of it. Like, that makes no sense. Like, it's the same thing. Why, for example, Nipsey died. Like, he goes back and he's building these businesses, like starting these companies and having people within the community work here. But you always have that person or group of people or whatever that don't like you or want what you have and want to do you harm. I don't understand why black people have this much hate. Why are you hating on me because I'm with someone that's not my same skin color? Why does it matter? Is it change? It's the same thing if you're gay or lesbian or whatever. Why do I care what this person is doing? They're not impacting me.
Well, we've talked about this before, how it's like when we were first together at Denny's and everything. Like, it's uncomfortable for me because a lot of the time it's black women, and they just look at me with such hate or something, and I'm like, I didn't, we were just talking about this morning. First of all, I never imagined that I would be with someone who wasn't my race. It wasn't like some plot. I wasn't against it, but because I grew up in a very white town and white schools and just it was what it was, that was my environment and that's what I was used to. And that's who I dated before you. And so I assumed that I would end up with a white person, and then here we are. I went online to find you, and so obviously your pool is bigger, and so there's all different ethnicities and people, and so then we found each other, and you're the first black person that I ever really pursued or talked to or anything in that capacity ever. So it's not like I sit here and it's uncomfortable for me because these women can look at me like, oh, I stole you or something. I never set out to do any such thing. It just happened like that. You and I started talking because, at the end of the day, everybody is a person. We're all human, okay? So you and I, two people, started talking, liked where it was going, had fun banter, went on dates, and then boom, the next thing leads to the next, and here we are. It's like it just happened like it would for any other two people or however many people in a relationship, and that's it. Like, it was never about, like, from my end, there was never any malicious intent is the thing. And I get these feelings like that's what people think is that, as like a white person, I'm trying to like come in and ruin things or something. Yeah. And it was literally never like that. And so it's really uncomfortable for me.
I'm with you. And like, to speak on my part of it, I didn't grow up where it's like you have to date a black person. Dog, where you went to school, your side, yeah, it's all majority white people. You didn't have any people from any other minority.
Yeah, we had like 5 people or
For
something.
Me,
it was ridiculous.
I had white, black, Spanish, Chinese. We had everyone.
Yeah.
I didn't look at a specific race and be like, oh man, like I don't like that. Like, if you were a girl and you were attractive, no matter what your race were, I liked you.
Right.
Like, my mom didn't raise me like, oh man, you got to date a black woman. No.
Yeah.
Like, if I liked you as a person, that's where it progresses.
And that was the thing for me too, is I've always said this, I always fell for people that I liked their personality first. I was never a person that looked at their looks first. I liked getting to know the person, and if they were funny and nice and charming and like whatever it was about their personality, that's then when I fell in love with how you looked.
Yeah.
And like, so it was never about color or beards or eye color or whatever it is. I literally, and I've said this before, I never had a type, I guess, because every person I've dated looks different.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, like I fell for the person. I don't
It's
care.
so annoying.
Like,
And it's like, to have these people, whether you're white, black, whatever, that, you know, has kids, and like they're saying, oh, you know, if I have a kid and like, oh, you like a guy and you're a guy, or like, you know, if you're gay, lesbian, whatever, and like your parent doesn't like that, it's like, okay, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna disown your kid? Or if your kid happens to, like, in my case, if I was never scared to take home, you know, you or anyone else that like I would have been dating at the time or whatever. Not the time, but you know what I mean. And like the thought never came out of my mind of like, oh, what is my mom gonna think?
well, and it's interesting because that was the thing, since this was my first relationship with someone who wasn't my ethnicity, I was super nervous in the beginning because there's just a lot that comes with it that I was unfamiliar with, and I didn't want to like step on toes, and I didn't want anybody to dislike me because I was different color, and it like I was so nervous to meet your family, like more nervous than just if the family was white and it's a new family to me. I was more nervous because I felt like, are they gonna be okay with this? And I know you were like, no, they're totally fine, but it was still, it was so nerve-wracking. And then
you need to have a review for yourself.
Well, and then I knew my parents would be fine with it, but I was nervous telling them too, and being like, just so you guys know. And it really stinks in this day and age. Like, you still have to be like, by the way, he's black, like, you know, instead of just being like, this is my boyfriend, like, there's still this, you have to preface it like with parents and stuff, like, it's kind of, that stinks. But it's like, it's so nerve-wracking, and it's like, yeah, you don't want to shake things up, you don't want people to dislike you, and there's no ill will here. It's just two people that like each other.
And like, one thing I've said to you, I really feel like, for as much as these people like to call out other, you know, other people that are in interracial relationships, I swear on it, yo, that like, if I was with another black girl and like, I don't know, like, someone was saying something wild, if it wasn't to her, but it's like maybe like her inner circle or something like that. Like, let's say this. Let's say I was going out with a black girl, and she had like a few white friends that like thought something about black people, and she was like, she really wasn't the type to speak out, all that stuff. She deals with it, so she's like, it is what it is. Dog, I have a feeling that you'd be more up to speaking up for it than the person that is of that race. Like, I don't know, that's just what I feel, but I have a feeling, and I can chime in, not chime in, I can check with my other friends that are in interracial relationships. I don't even have to check. I go on Twitter and some of my friends that are in relationships, that whether they're white and black or whatever race they ride hard. Like, my friend that's married to what do you call it? To a black girl, I'm like, he goes hard. Like,
he's white.
Yeah, and he's white.
To clarify.
And like, he goes hard. I'm like, I dig this. Like, you just become a new level of awareness and like being aware of the world, and like you just
Yeah, and we've talked about it here on the podcast too, is that, you know, it's not racism that I was, but it was ignorance and like naivety. Like when I was growing up, it was more so I was in this like white bubble.
Yeah.
And so, like being with you just kind of opened my eyes in a different way. Mm-hmm. Like I know people can totally educate themselves and be, you know, allies and all that stuff, but like being with you kind of escalated that, rather than if you know, if I were to just read up on it and like things like that. Like it immersed me a little bit more, you know, because now here I am at like your parties with like all your different family of all these different personalities and backgrounds and everything, and I'm getting to know like everybody and where they come from and where they're going and like all this different stuff, and what, you know, what makes them tick, what makes them upset, like things like that. And it's a whole other level. So yeah, and then it becomes, the closer I got to you and when we moved in together and all this stuff, it becomes more personal. And it's it's a fine line to walk, because then there's some people who, you know, you have to be careful what you say and how you say it, because yes, I am still a white person. And, you know, maybe some people don't want me coming with my high horse and like defending you guys and stuff like that. But at the same time, it feels very personal being with you and being like a part of you. And it's like, now like we're married and we're living together and we're going to have a family. And like, it's like a whole thing. And it's like, no, I'm like in it. Like, and I can never say I understand what you guys have been through and like that kind of thing. But I can at least be like a hell of an ally is what I feel like. And that's why, you know, and we've talked about it too, where before, yeah, I was more of like the all lives matter type of person. And no, like as the last few years have gone, no, I get why Black Lives Matter is the thing, like why it's a saying and why even as a white person, I would say it, you know, and it I don't know. It gets me worked up because, yeah, like you said, it's, you kind of, once you're more immersed in it and here's this person that you really care about that goes through these things, you want to at least do what you can.
Yeah.
You know, like, yeah. So.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's kind of insulting when people have that mentality, because it's like, here we are, and I know how far I've come with educating myself and with being with you and all that, and it's beautiful. It's a great thing, and it's an awesome relationship to have. It's different, but it's amazing, and I don't think people really understand it until you're in it, and because I didn't. It's like the relationship you and I have, and yeah, sure, some of it's time and we're living together and stuff, but I think beyond that, the relationship you and I have is deeper on a different level than I've ever had with anybody else. And I think that's because of all we've kind of taught each other and like gone through together with these differences.
Yeah.
It creates like another layer.
Yeah.
So, and I love it, and I love us. So. Yeah.
And like, yeah, I don't really have much. I just had to get that off my chest and appreciate your words on it.
Yeah.
It's just, if anyone's listening to this and you're in an interracial relationship, you're going to have those times and those people that like get under your skin. I would say don't attack them. Come with a way of like understanding them and being like, why do you think that? And like have a real conversation. If it turns out you can't like educate them on their views, be like, okay, it's fine. Like at the end of the day, if it's not impacting you, I go with the simple term of, if you're not paying my bills, you're not giving me money to survive, I don't care what your opinion is. I can have my opinion, whether I say it to you and word gets back to someone else. I have no problem with like saying it, because it's like I'm not saying anything that's out of line. So like when I saw this post from this person, I'm like, I'm just gonna chime in here, get my thoughts off, and like if I had your number, dog, we could chop it up. You can come over here. We could talk about it on the podcast. Like, I have no problem. I really want to know why people feel this way.
With everybody, you're like, let's talk about it on the podcast. There's been so many people he wants to get on this podcast.
But it's content. At the same time, there's people that think this way.
No, it's true. Yeah, we have like various people we've thought would be good on the podcast because of the way they think, you know?
So I want to know why you feel, you know, I can't be pro-black in an interracial relationship. Why is that?
Right.
Because that makes no sense.
It doesn't make sense because, again, at the end of the day, you're still you. You're still individually you.
Dog.
And it doesn't erase... Being with me doesn't erase any of the experiences you've been through.
And also, I have to work harder when I go into these rooms. Like, I mentioned this to you, of course, off the podcast.
Yeah.
When I go into these rooms where the majority white people in there, yeah, I have to sit there and, like, maneuver through a crowd. And, like... more so than I would have to around, I guess you could say, black people. Of course.
Well, because there's like lurking eyes. They're like judging eyes on you.
Exactly, yeah. So it's like, I'm sitting here, again, I see this as being pro-black because I'm trying to destroy an image that these people have of like, there's this big black guy here, and he's with this girl I like, whether it be a guy or girl, like in a friend manner. And it's like, that seems interesting. And it's like, people have a conversation with me, and they're like, oh, okay, I get it. Like, he seems cool. Like, yeah. And it's like, every day, every person I talk with, I'm trying to break down the stigma, the barrier, anything that you have misconstrued about me as a black person, I'm trying to break it down. That's why I'm trying to work towards to have, like, the bigger house and, like, and go to these, just set up a better life where, like, that's why we're hustling for it to be like, yo, if I could do it, everyone else could do it. Like when we talked about the Tyler Perry studio a few weeks ago or a month ago or whatever, like, if he could do it, I could do it. Maybe not on that large scale, but it's like, it's just another, like, way to prove.
It's a role model.
And that's all I'm trying to be at the end of the day. Yeah. Well,
yeah, and I know, like, we've talked about it. I think we talked about it here, but how, you know, you'll talk about your glasses and how it's like, it's something as simple as that. If you take them off, you feel like people are more scared of you because it's like it's this persona of, because you have a resting face, that, oh, like, you look more
I've been told about this for like a few black people in my life growing up, where it's like, well, I don't have glasses on. I think it was before I even started wearing glasses. They were like, oh, you should smile more.
I hate when people say that. People have said that to me too, though.
I'm not doing it, but I haven't heard it since I put glasses on. I don't hear that comment around. Like,
see, I hear it because I'm a woman, and I feel like freaking men say that, and it's gross. But yeah,
like, that's a different thing. It's like, I swear, if I wasn't wearing glasses and I was going into stores, I'm sure people would be like double watching me on top of it. Which
is insane to me, because I've never heard that, like, a white person say that like, oh, when I take my glasses off, people think I look more intimidating. No. I've never heard them say that. So that's crazy.
Yeah.
And it's something so simple. It's like you feel more like a target.
I'll say this, every black person, no matter what relationship you are in, as long as you are doing good in the world and not, like, you know, of course, killing people, stealing, you know, stuff like that, that's...
the extremes.
Yeah.
You know.
As long as you're doing good in the world, I consider you to be pro-black. Like, if you're constantly breaking stigmas and talking to people and, like, putting your best foot forward because you know how people view you, like both them, Gene that passed away last year, constantly always being well dressed because he wants to give off that, like, I'm someone that you can trust. I'm like, you don't have to worry. Like, it's sad that we have to do this, but dog, it's a part about being pro-black and making sure everyone's aware that, like, oh, we're not all bad. Side note before we get off this topic, there's a YouTube channel called The Japan Experience. And it's cool because this guy, like, interviews other, like, black people that are in... it's called the Black Japan Experience. Sorry. This guy interviews black people that, you know, live in Japan. And he was talking recently about his experience where he was, like, going from one town to another and took the train. And, like, you noticed this guy was, like, crying, like, really, like, sobbing, crying. while he was going on the train. He stopped and like you just wanted to check with this guy because you didn't know, if you're that crazy sobbing in public, what's happening.
Yeah.
And like this guy was like super afraid of like black people, and he's like, oh no, I don't want to bother you, this and that, and like,
my gosh.
And at the end of it, like this black guy, I guess he was going through some issues with him and his girlfriend or something like that, whether it was like she broke up or they got into a fight or something this guy was going through. And like at the end of their conversation, I guess the guy, he like took him to like some bar place and they like sat down and ate and had drinks and just talked. And then, he started walking, and I think he like walked him back home or something like that, or to get this Asian guy back home. Sorry, I had to preface it like that, but they're in Japan, so yeah. And at the end of it, he was like, you really changed my views. Like you're my one black brother, which is weird for him to say that, but I get his intentions.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like just in that one encounter, this guy has changed his views on black people, thinking that like they're scary.
Right. Again, I really think it goes down to like some of how you're raised and then also your environment. And that's why, I preface the whole thing of, I was used to a majority white environment. And that's not to say that it's bad or that it's wrong, but that's just what my reality was.
Yeah.
So it never really crossed my mind that I would date any other ethnicity, not even just black, but just any in general. Like it never kind of crossed my mind. I just assumed.
Yeah.
So I mean, that man went through things that made him scared, and so that was his reality.
Yeah.
Because that's what he was taught, and that's it. That's all you know.
Yeah, and I liked it because at the end of the video, the guy was like, they exchanged numbers and like they check in from time to time now, and I'm like. Cute. That's what's needed, because now that guy will go through his community and be like, oh, don't say that about black people. They're not like that.
Well, and again, so you create another ally,
and that's
and that's huge.
I just that's all I got to say on this topic. It's just it had me super irritated. I was thinking about this all throughout the night, just dreaming about it, and it's like I have to get it off the top of my like chest, because if I don't, I'm gonna be irritated for the rest of the day. So. That's all I had to say. Anything else before we move on?
No, I mean, I feel you.
At the end of it, guys, if you're in an interracial relationship, keep on keeping on.
At the end of the day, I'm very big on just love who you love, and that's all good.
Yeah.
I don't care what they look like, if they got disabilities, if they are a different gender. Like, I don't care. I literally, it's not affecting me in any capacity who the next person is with. Exactly. You know what I mean? Like, all I want is more happiness and love in the world. Exactly. And this world would be such a better place. So if love is going to create that, then I'm not going to stop that. Yep. I don't care. Like, it's just do your thing.
Yeah.
Do your thing. I don't care if you want to date 15 people. Do it. Like, if that's your jam, cool.
Exactly.
Like, go ahead.
All right. So on happier times... Guys, we had a great wedding day.
Yay! It was a week ago already. I can't believe it.
I'm going to say I'm sorry for everyone I lied to on the last episode about posting on Instagram. It did not happen. I wanted to, but I was being pulled in every which direction. I really didn't have a time to breathe, so I was not able to. You
meant to like stories and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. I totally didn't even realize when you were saying that, because like I literally didn't have my cell phone on me the entire time. Yeah. Like it was in the bridal suite and I was in bliss. I was totally fine with that. It was like the best day to just not be on your phone. You know what I mean? Like just be in it. And yeah, you're like, oh my God. You're everywhere.
I'm pushing, even though Lauren's not about it, I'm pushing to like at least put like a little bit of the wedding like on YouTube, put like some clips up or something. We'll see when it comes time when we get the video from the videographer. But like I'm pushing for you guys to see this. It was a really good wedding.
I'm thinking like the highlight.
We'll see.
Video, because it's like 7-ish minutes or something like that.
When it goes up, we'll let you guys know that on the podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you're not. Paging the Simpsons. Of course, it's on YouTube. Subscribe, and we'll put it up there whenever we receive it and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's like a few months, so yeah.
Yeah.
You guys.
But like, I love that. Like, I love, like, for example, like, Gaming with Kev, he has his wedding video. Literally, his only video on YouTube, because he deleted the rest of them, is on. Like,
he did?
That one. He has a gaming channel and he has a separate channel, so yeah.
He deleted all the gaming stuff?
No, he has a gaming channel. He has a separate channel.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, he just kept the wedding video up because it's just forever there.
Well, yeah.
And like I think his like brother did the same thing.
Yeah.
Like that he has his wedding. I'm like, I like that. We could just go back and like Cedric, him and his wife, like they put their like little wedding highlight up, and it's just cool to see everyone's wedding. Like I don't know, I just like seeing what everyone does. And I feel like I like Cedric's like video the best because like that one was like super well edited and everything.
Yeah.
We'll see how ours go. I'm sure it's gonna be. Great.
It's gonna be amazing. I know it.
So I'm gonna kind of start from the beginning. We're not gonna make this boring.
You know, it's not boring to me. Okay, it was my wedding day.
The last video boring to me. I don't know. As a listener, oh man, that shit was boring. I'm just telling you.
Rude.
Have you? That's something I want to get into, but we'll get into it some other time.
What?
Listen, no, go ahead.
I said rude.
No, go ahead. Go.
Go ahead with what?
Fine. I'll start this off.
I'm so confused. All I said was rude.
Nothing. So, guys, this is how the day started. We woke up. I woke up at like 4 o'clock. Sucks. Woke up at 4 o'clock. We're chilling. We're getting ready.
You had more sleep than me, so shh.
You getting up. Like, everyone's coming to our house to get their makeup, and here did. It was a good time, I think. That's where you chime in and say, yeah, it was good.
Yeah. No, it was good. It was good. Everything went by fast, but it was fun.
Yeah, everyone came over.
Yeah.
Makeup artists, hairstylists, they all came, and everyone got their hair done. And they cruised out in a nice little fancy little limo. My guys, it
was like a big van, yeah.
Oh, well, I say it's a limo.
Well, it wasn't a stretch limousine or anything, but it was just like a big,
party van,
oversized van.
Did he have like a little pole?
It wasn't
in the
a
middle?
party. No, it wasn't a party van.
Did
It was
a pole
just
in the middle for you to dance.
No.
Did it have champagne?
Oh my god, no.
Damn.
It was just all we needed was to get from point A to point B. That's it. We didn't need anything fancy.
Damn. So yeah, so that happened. They got there safe.
And guys, we didn't see or talk to each other all day. So he left before.
That was a good thing. Praise the Lord.
Oh
we need to have more dates like that.
Oh god.
I'm just saying.
Lord.
So that happened, and
yeah, it was cool being on the other side of the hair and makeup chair.
So that happened and everything, and then you guys got to the venue a little early.
Yeah,
and I was like, okay, cool. These guys got there early.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I can leave now.
Yeah.
So we left, and I'm just trying to get through like the slower parts of the morning, and it's just like, man, yeah. I went to my parents' house, slept a couple hours. It was
wow,
great.
That sounds nice.
It was lovely.
I slept 3 hours the night before the rehearsal and the night before the wedding. Like 3 hours each night. So it was amazing. I was so tired.
Got up at 10 o'clock, got dressed, head out.
10 o'clock, guys. Do you hear this? 10 o'clock.
Guys, you guys have the easiest
I was
part.
in full hair and makeup at that point.
I was just getting up at that point. But nonetheless, so got dressed. We went to the venue, and they put us on a separate side of the building, so we want to see each other, of course.
Yeah, it was perfect because this venue, you could have 2 weddings at the same time, but we were the only one that was booked. So, like, they got to go on, like, the whole other side because there's only a bridal suite, so there wasn't, like, a place for grooms.
What's great because we were able to get photos beforehand with, like, me and some video
nice
clips
light
and stuff like that.
Yeah, that was cool.
So it really worked out. So after that happens, I'm kind of just guiding through some of the boring parts.
That's what happened to you, but what about me?
Yo, chime in. I can't. Okay. I can only speak for myself. So chime in.
So what happened on my side is I realized I forgot the hanger that I ordered like a week earlier, and it had like the whole like Mrs. Simpson and wire, and it had the date and a bow and like all that stuff, and it was supposed to be cute for like the dress shots. Realized I forgot it, and like so. I'm frantically calling the pet sitter because I knew she was about to pick up Missy. And I'm like, can you grab the hanger? I don't know if it's going to be in time, but you grab it anyway. So she grabs it. Long story short, we got like a couple pictures, but when the pet sitter got there, I was basically supposed to be getting in my dress. So it was like, my photographer real quick got like close-ups with it. But yeah, like the whole like dress shots and stuff are with like a hanger from the venue. But so that was the first thing that like was an oopsie. But besides that, I mean, the first half hour we were sitting there, like, it was more low-key because that's when the photographer and videographer were getting, like, behind-the-scenes shots and details. And did you know when I arrived, the videographer was getting, like, drone shots of the venue? I'm like, that's sick.
That's kind of cool.
That's sick.
I didn't see
because
that.
I arrived and I think he was joking or something. And he's like, are they not letting you in? And I was like, what? No, we just got here. Like, I was so out of it. I was so confused what he was saying. He's like, no, I'm just kidding. I was getting the drone shots. So, but yeah, so then, yeah, all the girls, everyone has to get dressed before me so that they look good in the pictures. And then it leads to, I think I was in my robe when I opened your gift instead of my dress. And so, like, we did gift exchanges. And so I opened that for the pictures and all that. And then I get dressed. That's a whole thing with, like, my mom and best friend and sister and the whole, like, who has what role. And what else? Oh,
Yeah,
my first look. My first look with my dad.
Dog. So those pictures, of course I wasn't there.
Yeah,
obviously.
he didn't see it.
But the pictures that we have for like the little sneak peek.
Yeah, we got.
You see you tear it up. You're like,
I ugly cry. It's an ugly cry face. Legit. Like, these pictures are ugly cry. No. So what happened was I did a first look with my dad, which I knew this whole time was the first time I was going to start sobbing, and I was right. So what happened was I'm in the bridal suite, and the videographer comes. He's like, okay, when you first come out, you're going to like peek out of the bridal suite because it like looks cute on video or whatever, and then you're going to walk to this point and you're going to stand there, and we'll tell him when to turn around. So he was standing like a bit ahead of me, facing the other way. And so instead of where I walk up and do the like finger tap, because a lot of people do that, they said, no, we're going to do this instead, because then when he turns around, he sees all of you. Yeah. So it's more of like an impact. And then he had to walk to me. Oh my God, guys. So then the videographer's like, count to 10 and then come out. And I was like, ah! I was like, oh my God. And so I start like, I'm like in the bridal suite and like trying to like not cry. And so I like, as soon as I open the door, it's like a wall just hit me. And I peek around the corner and I'm doing the thing. And then I walk and I'm just standing there and I'm like trying so hard to hold it back and I can't. And then as soon as he turned around and he starts walking towards me and he starts tearing up and I'm like dying. And then he gets to me, guys, and he's like sobbing, like full on. And we're having this sob moment where we're in our embrace and all this stuff. Oh, and he's telling me how beautiful I look and you know, we're saying how much we love each other and all this stuff. And then I have a little gift for him after we do our initial sob. So my sister brings over, it's this gift that like said some cute saying. It had a little thing that you put in your wallet. And it was a heart and it said like in children's writing, I love you, Dad. Yeah. Then he saw that and then he sobbed again and then we're sobbing again and it's this whole thing. And he's so cute because he's like, I'm not going to let you go. And then, of course, I was like, well, this is the moment. So then I was like, you'll never let me go, Dad. I'll always be your little girl. And then that was a thing. And we were dying, okay? And so I was so surprised because I thought he'd cry, but I really didn't realize to the extent he would.
So, were you mic'd up?
No.
Okay.
No.
I wonder if so it'll probably just be a video.
It's just a video audio. And it'll probably be shown like with music over it or something. But no, like, oh my God, guys. And so, yeah, we got sneak peeks back a couple days after. A good amount. We got 137 photos back really fast. And you can't see too much of what my dad was crying yet because it's only the sneak peeks. But oh my God, there's one shot. My face is like ugly crying. Yep. And I told everyone who's gone through them so far, I'm like, you get to see me ugly cry. Yeah. But yeah, so that was such a special moment because I always wanted to do that. So then after that happened, we like took a breath and then it's like right after that happened, boom, on to the next thing. Like this is how it went. Like we had our moment and then I just ran back in the bridal suite. I'm like trying to touch up my makeup because now it was streaming down my face and I'm like crap and like all that. So I'm frantically trying to touch up my makeup. And then like the photographer's even getting shots of that. We're like, oh, the cool like mirror shots and all that. It's like you're just going. And so then we had to prepare for the first touch. Yep. Right after. So then I'm waiting for you and they're telling me when you're going to be there and we're around this corner. And so then finally I walk up and I see your little arm. And it was so funny. You know what I was thinking? I don't know if I told you this, what I was thinking the whole time. I was like, I can tell he's so handsome just from his arm. And I literally, when I got back to the bridal suite, I said that. And like people were like, that's so cute. Like, stop it. Oh, yeah. But yeah, so we're like around a corner and we didn't know what to do at first because we're like, well, like, do you guys tell us when to hold hands or do something? And we had to exchange letters. And so then we're like holding hands while we're reading letters to ourselves. And like that was another moment. And more tears came. And yeah, so like that was really nice. How about your perspective?
No, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
You're just being told, hey, do this, do that, smile here. So, yeah.
Yeah.
And then after that happens, then that's when, I go back to my position. Me and the groomsmen get together. And then now we're waiting for everyone to get seated into the ceremony. And here comes the part where I'm like, oh, shoot.
No, you want to know? Okay. So you know where the bridal suite was, right? Okay, so everybody has to walk past there to get to where they're going to sit, right? Yeah. So what happens is we went back to the bridal suite and like, and the coordinator's like, okay. He's like, we're going to start letting people in now. So I'm going to close this. And then I was just like, oh my gosh, it's happening. And I couldn't hear people coming by. I don't know if it was because of like the music and the muffled in the room or something. I couldn't hear people, but I was just like thinking to myself and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's people coming. That means this is actually happening. It's going to happen really fast. Oh my gosh, it's in a few minutes. And I'm just sitting there and I'm like rubbing my legs and I'm tapping my legs and I'm just like, oh my gosh. So like for like, I think it was like 15, 20 minutes, but it actually went by in a flash. Yeah. And I'm just sitting there and I'm like, oh my gosh, like you're just waiting.
See, man, with me, I was sitting in another room talking with my guys and I'm like, oh man, like I'm not sure. I may tear up, I may not. I'm like, all this stuff. Like, we're sitting there just talking, just BSing. And I'm sure the videographer caught it on the mic because it was just recording throughout the whole time. But of course, it's not going to be in the video we get. But like we're just saying they're just BSing for the moment, and it's just fun. And then here comes the coordinator gets us out, and then we get ready, and then our justice of peace asks if I'm good, and I'm like, in my head I'm like, I don't know if I'm good, but we gotta go anyways.
I know she came by and she checked on me too, and I was like, ah.
Man, so it was awkward for me. So when we first walked up, I was like, I was in like disbelief. You'll see in the video probably. Okay. 'Cause I didn't have my hands like where they should be walking up, and then like shortly after, I'm like, oh yeah. Like, I was not there. So if you see it in the video, that's what happened. Like I was completely like zoned out.
Oh, that's so funny.
I was like, oh shoot, my hand should be right here.
Yeah, and you know what's funny, and then I'll go back to the rest of it, but when I was walking down the aisle, I think I was walking the speed that I was supposed to, but I honestly can't tell you if I was. Like, looking back, I think it was slow enough, but I don't know.
That's good to me.
But anyways, so yeah, then the coordinator comes and he asked, like, I love how he asked as if I was going to like pause everything and be like, no, let's wait an hour. Cause he's all like, okay, are you guys ready? Like, are you ready to like do this and start? And I'm just like, no, like what? But yeah. So then he got everybody else. And what he did is he's like, we're going to bring your dad back in. And this is usually like when you guys like have another like moment alone, like before you get lined up. Mm-hmm. So what happened was the processional started before I was out there. So like I didn't see Missy go out. I didn't see my mom, your parents, like the first few people I didn't actually see walk out because I was in there.
Dog, you didn't see anyone.
What do you mean?
Oh, I see. Because you got lined up.
Well, right. The lined up. Yeah. And I had the pet sitter. I was like, can Missy come in here real quick? Like I wanted to see Missy right before. And so we had a little moment too. And then she went. And oh my God. So yeah, me and my dad are talking, and that was like nice because he didn't want to tear up again, and I had to watch what I was saying because he's like, no, he's like, we're not going to talk about this right now. It was so cute, but it was a nice moment. And then yeah, he's like, are you ready? And when he came back and he said, you ready? I ran over to my water bottle and I had to chug another sip of water before leaving. I'm like, okay, now I'm ready.
Yeah.
So then, yeah, we went and we got lined up, and I saw like, I think a few of my bridesmaids. And yeah, so then we're watching them. And then it's supposed to change songs to me coming out.
Yep.
And the DJ played my second choice. So I gave him a second choice because I didn't know if me and my dad would walk down at the right timing. It was
still a nice song. It still fit.
Right. But yeah, so like I was confused because I was hearing it and the coordinator's looking at my face and he's like, "Is it the wrong song?" And I'm like, "No, it's not the right song." And then he's like, well, you got to go anyway. And like I was just like, So yeah, so then we start walking. I honestly don't know. See, I didn't practice for that song, so we just started walking. I didn't try to start it at any certain point like I did the other song, so I think it was all right. But, yeah, no, it was still a nice song. People still liked it, but that happened. And then, yeah, we walked down. And I think part of it was the song because the other song was going to make me cry, I feel like. But... So I think I was thrown off, and that's why I didn't really cry walking down the aisle. But I was also, like, kind of cried out because of the whole stuff beforehand. So I was really smiley, like, walking down the aisle. Like, I was actually really happy, and, like, it was a really nice moment. Like, and I feel like, you know, the videographer... He told you and I to lock eyes, and that helped because then I'm not focused on anybody else.
See, I forgot about that. I was still looking at you, though. I was paying attention. Yo, anyone that walked down this aisle, I'm like, I got you.
Right? You're like, good job.
Like, every now and then, I looked at everyone else, but I'm like, nope, focus.
Yeah, no. And
I just... I peeked at the bridesmaid every now and then.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to look at the crowd.
Right,
because they had to trigger me.
Same.
So I was looking at everyone else.
You know what was weird? So at first when I'm walking in, before you can see me, but other people can see me... I didn't know where to look because, like, I could look at, like, a few people that were staring at me, but I'm like, this is weird.
Yeah.
So I kind of did, but then I looked at the photographer, and then I looked over there, and I was like, I don't know where to look. Yeah. So then when we turned and it was you, I was like, okay,
yeah,
I got this. And, yeah, no, it was really nice. And, yeah, it was cool. It was cool. Like, I think I was more nervous about the walk than it actually is.
So I'm going to transition into the part where it now it's my part here. Dog, so she's walking down the aisle and I'm sitting here beforehand. I'm like, I got this. I'm cool. We up in here. No, I did not have it. It was just like as if I was on a cliff and it was dark and I could not see and I just went, I lost control. Yeah, because the tears started coming and I'm like, oh shoot. And, like, you see, like, you know, when you cry, it's like you can't really see that much.
Yeah.
And, like, my eyes getting blurry because of the water. And I'm like, oh, shoot. And I'm like, don't show. So I was holding it down. And then it progressed. And we got into the vows. And I'm like, shoot.
And he goes first. So he had to read his vows first.
Shoot. And I didn't have a tissue. And I was like, shoot.
So I had him, right? I had a tissue around my bouquet, and I gave it to my sister. She was supposed to catch the tissue, but she didn't. So it was on the floor. So it was like this kind of comical moment I made, like a funny moment. How I looked to her, and I was like, I need the tissue. And then I looked to the ground. I was like, I grabbed it, and I was like, I got you. And I gave him the tissue. He needed it so much more than I did during the ceremony.
Oh, man.
He was like sobbing during the vows, and I was like... It was adorable, and I was in heaven.
Yo, in my head, I'm sitting there like, why are you not crying? This is not working out for me.
No, but again, I think the reason I wasn't crying was first I got a lot of it out, but second, I think because I was thrown off because of the song.
Oh, but like, well, I wish I had that moment because I was just like, I was trying to read my vows, and I'm like, I'm like, shoot.
I loved it. And I can't wait to see that.
What I loved at the, when we're going, I'm jumping ahead slightly just for a moment, but as we were walking towards everyone's table at the end for the reception, like a lot of the guys were like, man, like you had me like getting teary-eyed and all that stuff. I'm like, I dig it. So I'm not the only one.
Yeah, everybody was talking about it. Oh my gosh. And yeah, when I got in position and like I saw the tears rolling down your face, I was trying to wipe them away and be cute.
I'm like, shoot, it's not working out. I was like, shoot, I'm gonna need an umbrella for these tears.
But yeah, and then I did my vows, and I was kind of choked up, but I wasn't like sobbing or anything. But it was that feeling like when you have a lump in your throat and like you feel it kind of thing. So that was kind of my vows. And then I heard everybody at the end of my vows, when I finished, everybody was like, aw. And I was like, yes. I was like, nailed it.
But then she later didn't nail it.
Oh my gosh, guys, I messed up. So there was like one of the vows where it's like, I take thee and blah, 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 and like something like that. I messed it up because I didn't think she said, I take thee, Shadell. I thought it was like, I take Shadell, thee, like something other. And I was getting so confused and I was like, and so like, everybody's laughing and all that. But
it's tough because you're not in that mode. Like I almost had that same slip up where I'm like, I don't know what you said because I'm not really paying attention.
Right.
I'm just in the moment.
Right.
But
and it's I'm
like, cool. At least
the
I didn't mess up.
I feel like the comical moments add to it though. Between the tissue and between that, like I think they make it a cute ceremony,
Yeah.
But yeah, and so it was good. I love how you weren't pushing my ring on too hard.
I don't want to hurt you.
Because I told him, like, the day before, I'm like, just push it. Like, just shove it. And he was not. He did. So what we did is, like, right when he let go of my hand, I, like, shoved it on my finger.
No one's going to see it. Like, because, so no one's going to notice.
Well, I didn't want it to fall off, though.
Well, obviously.
But
that's what the Justice of Peace was saying.
Right.
It can't fit.
She's like, just make it look like you're, but my knuckles are, like, bigger, so it's kind of tricky. Yeah. But, yeah, no, and then it was good, and then... It was fun. So like we walked back down after we were pronounced, and as we turned the corner and the coordinator's all like happy for us, I screamed and I was like, "We did it!" And I have no idea who heard that, but I was so excited. Yeah. And the photographer got a good picture from behind of me. Like I could hear myself, like when the bouquet was up, and I could hear myself being like, "We did it!"
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I mean, and. It's funny because when you're at other people's weddings, some people have really, really long ceremonies, and so you're like, but like
it's a good pace.
But you also don't realize how fast it goes when it's yours, because I kind of wished it was longer. Like I was like, this is I did, because I feel like it's the nice moments. Like, yeah, the reception's the party and woo, but like the ceremony is like really what it's about, and it's like that heart-wrenching like moment and stuff. So
if I would have went any further, we would have had all the guys in there crying.
Good. You say that like it's a bad thing.
It is.
But yeah, and then they had our like signature drinks ready for us after the ceremony. We're all
cool.
like, woo.
Like, hey.
And yeah, and then we go right into pictures. So for all of cocktail hour, we did family pictures, bridal party pictures, and then couple pictures, which I think all went really well and really like fast and good. And like even the family pictures.
Yeah, everything flowed.
The photographer, I feel like she was like, this is like the best, because she's probably had some tough situations with families where they're not listening or they're not shuffling right or they're, but I think it was solid. It was just like, move flowed. Here, do this, boom, boom. It was good.
Everyone got their pictures in, whether it was solo with us or, with other people.
Yeah, all the variations. It was perfect. Okay, cool. And then outside, the bridesmaids were freezing. Love you guys. Thank you for putting up with me. And then I had this little like fur coat shawl thingy that one of my clients actually gave me, which was really sweet. And so I wore that for like the bridal party pictures, and then I took it off for the couple pictures, which then I was freezing. By the time I was done, my hands and feet were numb from being outside. It was cold.
And there was comfy.
With all your layers and jacket and all that. But no, the photos were great. Guys, the sun came out. Okay, so we didn't mention that. So it was supposed to be cloudy, okay? That was the best forecast we were getting, and I was just fine with that because it wasn't going to be rain or snow. The sun came out, like, as we were driving to the venue. Like, I was like, yay! And so then what a few people told me afterwards is apparently, and again, I was in a fog, so I don't remember this, and I can't wait to see it on video, but apparently right when I was walking down the aisle, the sun, like, came out and, like, shone brighter. And I'm like, that's cool. That's really neat. So, yeah. So it was a good, like, weather day. Yeah, photos went really well. And then it was introduction time.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah, we had our introductions. Man, everyone was a bunch of party poopers going up, I'll say. Like, we had still, like, cool songs that everyone would go out to.
Our DJ was like, you guys killed it, but your group needs to be a little more enthusiastic.
I'm
like, I know. And I tried to tell everyone, but, like, we didn't know the personalities if they would really, like, branch out.
Like a whoop, whoop, like nothing like that, no. Didn't happen.
A couple of them did. A couple of them, like, did the arms and did the, like, but, yeah, some of them just kind of walked, and we were like, okay.
everyone go out to a certain song, which is cool. And then we were like heart beating for our moment.
We were putting on, so we had sunglasses on, and then I had a necklace and a watch on too. So we went into Finesse by Cardi B and Bruno Mars, and it's the beginning part. And so this is another part that our DJ messed up was we were supposed to have an extended beginning,
and
so
you
that
literally like checked with them.
I checked with him 2 minutes before
and he was
the
like, "Yep." I'm
yes.
Like, hello.
I specifically checked with him because he messed up the ceremony song. I was like, "You got this." And 2 minutes before, guys. So he gave us, it was going to be extended beginning where he added like music so that I could walk out in a good pace to the part of the floor where everybody could see us dance. So our turn comes up. We're all nervous. He introduces us, and then I hear the regular song. And I feel like you didn't register it as fast as I did. That
wasn't my part, so I wouldn't know that.
Right. So then, because me and him were supposed to do this fun like tug of war thing and like make it look like I wanted to go out with him and he didn't want to dance, and like it was going to be like more of a fun extended beginning. Yeah. But because of that, I heard it and I'm like, it's the wrong song again. And I bolted. I ran and
it flew.
First of all, so glad I changed my shoes, because if I didn't, I would have tripped running like that. Horrible. But so I ran. Thank God I didn't trip on my dress, because in that moment I wasn't even thinking of my dress. I was just thinking run. So I'm really glad I didn't trip.
Yeah.
So what happened was I didn't get to the spot in time, so I had to start my like arms and like the dance like as I was running.
It works.
But I gotta say, maybe that was the one thing that was a blessing in disguise, because I think the fact that I was running hyped people up and like it made it more like woo, like, you know, in your face. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so I did Cardi's part, and then you came out for Bruno, and we did Cardi and Bruno together, and then we walked up, and everybody loved it, and like the cheers, and that is like when someone asked us recently what were our favorite parts of the wedding, and I said that the introduction is definitely one of my favorites. You sobbing during the ceremony, yes,
dog.
But our introduction together, guys, we practiced for months, and we were so nervous like the week leading up to it, because nobody knew we were doing this. We wanted it to be a surprise for everybody, the bridal party, all of them.
Yep.
And like it was epic. We killed it. Yeah. Like, it was so much fun, and it flew by.
And I loved it because, like I keep saying, like, the videographer, he was on point. Like, you ran out there, and he was, like, circling around you. I'm like, this shot is going to look great.
Yep.
I'm like, I can't wait to see this.
Everybody was there. All the videographers, photographers. I'm like, guys, because I told them ahead of time, I'm like, get this. Like, this is our moment. Because basically, instead of choreographing a first dance, we wanted to do this instead. Like, this was kind of more fun for us. So, so, I mean, that was epic. And then we took the things off, the props, go into our first dance, which was really nice. Which was funny because we were hyped up from the introduction dance. So we were just kind of like talking and swaying.
We were just focused on each other.
It was nice. And then speeches. We had 4 speeches, which were all amazing.
Yep. I gotta say, I'm surprised about how my groomsmen did. I was worried. I was so worried about these guys. Oh my God,
they did so good, and they really did. They didn't roast you too bad. Just a little, in there.
They both had like a comment about Tesla, and I'm like, oh my gosh, let's chill.
And I'm like, here we go, guys. We had to talk about Tesla on the wedding day, of course. But not only that, I don't think you know. In the van on the way there, who was talking about it? Like Shauna or something? Like one of them were talking about how like Tesla, like something about Tesla, and I'm like, not on my wedding day.
Wait, I need to know who it has to be, because it can't be my sisters.
It wasn't.
Oh man, guess who I'm gonna go down the rabbit hole with Tesla videos now.
I was like, not on my. I think it was her. I don't know, but I was like, not on my wedding day. So it happened.
Because you didn't give me the wedding gift. I've been literally prepping you this whole year. Like, yo. You know how excited
this boy thought I would roll up in a Tesla. Anyways,
I'm so sad.
Anywho's it's. But yeah, speeches were all amazing, and then dinner. So, which was also awesome. We had our first course, which was like the Alfredo with chicken and like it was yummy.
It's funny you say that, because I guess my mom was telling me, like, my little brother, like, he really loved it. Like, he ate it all up. I'm like, damn.
Oh my gosh, that's so good.
Like, he ate a lot of it, where he was like, when it came to like the fries and the chicken nuggets for him, he was like, I'm full.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. funny. That's great. But yeah, so we ate our first course, and then we strategically went around to all the tables to say hi because we figured we had something in our bellies, and then while people were eating, so we wouldn't miss our dinner.
Yeah.
And then we went back. The only other thing is, so I like steak well done, and I know that venues don't automatically make it well done, but one of the bridal attendants came and asked me how I wanted it ahead of time, and I said well done. Guys, it took 3 times for them to get it right because it was just too bloody for me. It's not my thing. So I had them send it back like 2 times. And so finally the actual coordinator came back and was like, okay, let's make sure all this, blah, blah, and it was fine. So the only thing that stunk with that is I'm over here like eating while everybody's starting to get up dancing, and like we're kind of, the sweetheart table's kind of on the dance floor, so I'm just like, like I'm dancing in my seat while I'm eating, and I'm just like,
Yeah, I'm like, oh yeah, like I'm trying to like.
I know, but I wanted to eat.
Like,
also, those mashed potatoes were bomb.
My mom was saying, no, my aunt told my mom that like I guess the rice they had with the chicken, it was like some like fancy rice she was saying, and I'm like, oh.
That's what my dad was telling me too.
Really?
Yeah.
So I wish I had this. Like, damn.
Yeah.
But that was good.
But yeah, so food was good, and then we get up to dance. Woo, we're doing dancing. The only thing I'll say again with the DJ is I wish they played more of what we specifically asked for during dinner and dancing. We had 2 lists. Okay, we had dinner songs and we had reception songs, and I just feel like they didn't hit a lot of them.
Yeah,
they did a lot of stuff I think wanted, or I don't know, maybe some were requests. I have no idea, but
oh, that's true.
But I
didn't think about that.
Yeah, but I feel like overall you should still do more of what.
Because like I'm like, we didn't. No offense to anyone, we didn't like recommend any reggae songs, and I'm like, okay, it kind of like left everyone getting off the dance floor.
It was like we really tried hard to make our list so that it was catered to people who were coming too. Like I had a good mix of for like the older crowd and the younger crowd, like just I really tried. So I felt really discouraged that I really wanted to party, and I feel like there was just less songs than I wanted played. So that was the only bummer there. But overall, it was a good time.
I danced a good amount. Be happy.
Yeah. I was surprised you never took your jacket off because like I was surprised you didn't
I wasn't thinking about it throughout. I got hot, but like I wasn't thinking about like I didn't think about it until someone said anything, and I'm like, I don't really care that much. Like, it doesn't matter.
And then we got pulled to go outside when it was dark. We got epic photos out there. There was a gazebo, and then there's like by the windows with the like up lighting. Oh my gosh, guys, it looks so cool.
Yeah, that shot, like,
so cool. It looks like an album cover.
If you're talking about making something like a profile picture, like that one in itself would be one.
That's
like
so
that
cool.
one looked. It looks like it's a shot that you would make as a magazine.
Yeah, it's
you said
so
album
cool.
cover, yeah, magazine cover.
So cool.
Like it's just. Yeah, you could just see like the magazine writing.
And it was funny because I was so sweaty from dancing. So like when we were outside and it was dark, I actually wasn't really that cold because it was kind of like it was cooling us down.
Yeah.
And then we went in, danced some more, and then it was time for the cake cutting, the honorary dances with the parents, and the shoe game and the flower toss. And so cake cutting was fun. I booped his nose with frosting. I always wanted to do that. And then so I did my dance with my dad, and towards the end he started getting teary again, but he was pretty good. We were fine. Then you did your dance with your mom, and I could not. I was like crying, and I was next to your stepdad, and he was like patting my leg, and I had like the napkin in my eye. Guys, this song is something else, and like just to know your guys' like relationship and everything, like I was
tearing
dying.
up, and I'm like, oh man, don't tear up.
I was dying. I'm like,
shoot.
that's the sweetest thing ever.
And she was like, yep, like she was like we were like same thing with our dance. Like she was just sitting like talking to me and everything, and I'm like,
that's so cute.
I can't wait to see that too on video. Like that was I like that moment a lot.
It was so nice.
Now I feel like tearing up. So let's continue.
Let's keep talking about it. And then we did the shoe game, which is like where the DJ asks questions about you, and then you lift whoever's shoe you think it is, which was fun because there was, for most part, we agreed, but there were some that we were like disagreeing on or whatever.
I figured we're agreeing on a lot of things, and I'm like, hold on, let me change this up here. So I'm like, yeah, some of them I'm like, nah, she's the one.
No, but it was good. And then I love how the DJ added it at the end. He's like, now 50 years from now,
I'm like,
who's still gonna love each other a lot? And I'm like, oh, I see what he's doing. And I put both up. I was like,
trick
hey!
question. I'm like, okay.
And then everyone's like, yay. And then we did the flower toss. We did not do a garter, guys. Okay, that's weird. I'm not for the garter, but we did a flower toss. Yeah. And we had to pull like people up on the dance floor, like, no, come on, like you're not married, come on. And that was fun. And I remembered to use the toss bouquet and not mine, so that was good.
Yep.
And yeah, and then it was more dancing, and then like the night ended. Like it was, oh my God, it really does. I knew going into this that it would go by quickly, but you do not understand until you're in it. Mm-hmm. And like when you look back, even it's only a week later, and already some of the stuff is like a blur. Like it all blurred together, and it's like, oh my gosh. Even me having to start like hair and makeup at 6 a.m, it still went by really fast. Yeah. Like by the time they were leaving, I was like, oh my God, it's already like hair and makeup's already done. Yeah. The person's already arriving. Oh my God. Like it was just every step was crazy. It was
a crazy night. Like I for sure can't wait to have like this video to like always just play every now and then.
Well, I like how I think we should watch it on our anniversaries. I think that's cute.
We'll see. We'll see. I feel like over at some point I'll get tired of that. But,
well, no, not for like Into Oblivion, but like, you know, especially like the first anniversary and all that.
Sure, the first one, but like if you're talking about like every anniversary,
no,
like 30 years in, we're gonna watch it for the 30th time. I'm like, oh,
no, but we gotta show our kids too. That'll be fun.
Yeah, but like show them when they can actually understand everything.
No crap. Okay. Come on.
I don't want to pop right out of you and be like, here you go. This is us on wedding day. Like they don't know what's happening.
Pop right out of you. Jeez. Oh my gosh. No, I can't wait to watch those though. Oh my gosh. Yeah. It's good. One thing I thought was cool because I looked at our sneak peek photos and I know the joy and excitement and love and stuff that I felt in those moments, like walking down the aisle and during the ceremony and all that stuff. But what's really cool is to see the photos and how it's captured. Yeah. Because I can see in some of those photos, and that's what gets me emotional, is seeing how like overjoyed I was. Yep. Like there's these photos where like there's one where I'm up at the ceremony and it's focused on me and like you can see the bridesmaids in the back of me and you can just see how freaking excited like I am just like to be looking at you and doing this with you. Like it's so cute. Mm-hmm. Like I'm like, it's so cool to see yourself like that. Yeah. So that's why I love the photographers and videographers we got because I feel like
they are A1.
Yeah. They really knew what they were doing. Yeah. Yay! We did it, guys!
So that's what we're rocking with.
We did it, and our honeymoon's in a couple weeks. Whoop!
Yeah, so we're rocking to Jamaica. We'll talk about that at some later point. Yes. But until then, we're working out the holidays, all that stuff. Yeah.
As a married couple.
Yeah, that's all we got. I just want to go through the whole like recapping of the wedding day with you guys. Whenever the highlight comes up, I hope to put that on YouTube, and you know we'll let you guys know that aren't on the YouTube channel. You should subscribe so when that comes out, you know. But we'll let you guys know also. Yeah, so that's all I got. Just wanted to give you guys a recap and on everything. And if you guys have any questions, anything we didn't talk about, any thoughts. As always, guys, like send us a voice message through Anchor, email, PagingTheSimpsons@gmail.com. Hit us up. We can answer your questions, all that fun stuff. And yeah, going into 2020 as a married couple, Mr. and Mrs. Simpson. I'm sorry for everyone's ears.
Yeah, that too. I'm doing the whole name changing process after the honeymoon. I'm just waiting because I'm getting on that plane. I don't want to have issues with Social Security and passports and all that nonsense. Yeah. So, but as far as I'm concerned, I'm Mrs. Simpson.
Yeah. Yeah. On that note, we are going to wrap this bad boy up. It's been a long episode. Thank you for everyone that has made it this far. We appreciate you 100%.
I mean, 2 very important topics, okay? Like, yay.
And I hope everyone, like I said, has had or is having a great Christmas. We will see you guys right around New Year's next week. We are not stopping. The train is still going. We are rocking and rolling. Oh, man. As always, guys, please give us a rate and review on iTunes. 5 stars. We appreciate the support 100%.
ASMR version.
And we'll see you guys next Tuesday.
Okay, I'm Lauren. Bye.
Completely forgot about it. Once again, I'm Shadell, host of Paging the Simpsons. I am joined by my lovely wife,
Lauren.
and we'll see you guys next Tuesday.
Bye.
Peace out.